Hi, everyone. If you can hear me, please put a comment in the chat. Just type yes or no. Great. I think I can. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So I welcome everyone to today's masterclass, Career Change Masterclass. All right. So I'm sharing the agenda for today's meeting. We'll go through the introduction, go through career change. We'll go through defining your ideal job. We'll go through skills for reflection, career paths, opportunities and summary, and then we'll take some questions. So I want us to feel relaxed. If you have any question, just put it in the comments and I'll be able to see the question from there. So let's do a bit of introduction. I don't think you'll be able to speak because of webinar. So you can just put your comments, your questions in the chat. So a lot of people do ask, what do you do? So I get that a lot. So what do you do? So I'm a senior business analyst. I'm a career coach. I'm an entrepreneur, founder of OK Fashion, co-founder of Tech with Career. So as a senior business analyst, I've worked through different sectors from private to public. And as a career coach, I've helped people transition from non-professional jobs to professional jobs. And I've also helped people to navigate their career journey successfully. So let's talk about career change. When we hear the word change, what comes to mind? I believe some of the things that comes to mind is to change something differently, or to do something differently, or to become different. Okay. So it's a term that we use a lot in project management. When you hear the word change, you know that something is about to happen. And I'm sure in all industries, when you hear the word change, people are like, oh, what's coming again? Okay. So change means the act or process of becoming different. So what is career change? So I've used the word change and career because when we talk about career change, three things comes to mind. And the first one is variation, deviation, and modification. So I hear people tell me, I like to change my career. And I'm trying to help them understand what they're trying to say. If they're trying to say, I'm trying to do something new, or I'm trying to completely change the way I work, or I'm trying to do something differently. So variation means that you're doing the same thing. You just want to, you just want varieties. For example, you're a nurse and you want to do another role, and you want to take another role and responsibility different from what you're currently doing. That's a variation. So career change could be that you want a variation. You want to try different things. You want to test the waters, they say. It could also be a deviation. So people say, oh, okay, I want to completely do something new, complete shift of focus from what I'm currently doing. For example, you're doing care job and then you transition into tech. That's a deviation. That's a completely shifting of focus. So career change could mean deviation for some of us. For other people, it could mean modification. It could be that you just want to develop your skills and competencies. It could be that, the way technology is taking over, they say that technology is going to transform the way we work going forward. So you want to learn new tech, you want to learn new application, how to use it. You want to be more savvy at work. For example, you're a marketer, so you want to change from traditional marketing into digital, marketing. So modification is about digital transformation. You want to improve the way you work. So I want you to ask yourself, what does it mean to me when I say I want to change career? And I know that different people have joined today. For some people, it may be that you just want to you just want to upskill, you just want to learn something new. It may not be that you want to really change your career, but it may be that you just want to learn something new. For some other people, it may be that they are actually desperate and thirsty for career change. So ask yourself, when I talk about career change, what do I mean? Do I mean variation? Do I mean deviation? Do I mean modification? Okay. So let's talk about positive mindset. One thing that is very important in changing career is that we must develop a positive mindset. I beg your pardon with my slide. So we must be able to shift our mindset. A lot of people have a fixed mindset. A lot of people have a fixed mindset, especially when you come abroad, when you come into, countries like this. People tell you the things you can't do and the things you can't do. Okay. So a lot of people run with that fixed mindset that these are the things I can do. So for example, if you look at my picture, the picture I have here that says growth mindset, fixed mindset. So have a fixed mindset means that you're saying I'm either good at it or I'm not. When I'm frustrated, I give up. I don't like to be challenged. When I fail, I'm no good. Tell me I'm smart. So you need that affirmation from people to tell us that we're smart. If you succeed, I feel threatened. They're threatened by other people's success. My abilities determine everything. It means that if I can't do it, it means I can't do it. But if you look at what a growth mindset is, it means I can learn anything I want to learn. When I'm frustrated, I persevere. I want to challenge myself. When I fail, I learn. Tell me I try hard. If you succeed, I'm inspired. My effort and attitude determine everything. So it's all about putting effort. And our mindset can either hold us back or push us forward. So three things are also very important when we talk about positive mindset is that don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions that certain things are not possible for you to do. Don't make assumptions that I can't, there's some careers that you can't do. You can do it if you want to do it. There's a particular scripture that comes to my mind. I think it's in Luke 14 that says that who wants to start a building without first counting the cost. All we need to do when we talk about career or envision the career that we want or would like to do is to count the cost. So don't make assumptions that there are things that you can't do. Another one is don't get stuck. I say this to people a lot that don't get stuck. I know that people's conditions are different. There are some people that they can't go into any form of career change now just because maybe of visa restrictions or because they need to, make money now. And, so people have different reasons why they can't. But I tell people don't get stuck. Don't let, sometimes some of those things that we're doing now, we call them quick fixes. They are survivor jobs. They are survivor careers. Don't let them become like permanent careers. Don't let them become your forever jobs. So the idea of this masterclass today is to let us know that there are some things that are possible and what can I do when I am doing my survivor jobs? How can I get myself prepared so that my survivor job don't end up becoming my forever job? So we must be open to growth and positive mindset. We must be open to growth and positive mindset. So positive mindset is that I can learn, I can do anything that I want to do. So don't make assumptions and don't get stuck. So let's also talk about, so we've seen this slide already. Positive mindset is all about being courageous, while fixed mindset leads to frustration. There's so many people that are frustrated. They've been doing the same thing for so long, and it now feels as if probably they feel like it's too late or they feel like they wasted time. So the whole idea of in having this masterclass is to let us know that we can actually transform the way we work. We can transform our career. We can we can quit this mindset of I can't do this. These are the things I can do. We can stop the limitation. We can take hold of everything that we have and to become successful. And the next slide says define the ideal career. Define the ideal career. I know some of people are at work, so we'll share the video with them because some people are actually at work at this time. But so define the ideal career. I'm going to be looking at my charts to see if anyone has put anything there, any question there, but we'll take questions at the end. So define the ideal career. And there's a question here for us that says, what does your ideal career look like in 3 to 5 years? If I'd say, okay, close your eyes and just tell me, what is it that you would love to do? What is it that you've been dreaming about? What is that career that you really, really, if they say, what do you want to do? That's the first thing that comes to your mind. So what does your ideal career looks like in 3 to 5 years? Okay. So you can write that down. And sometimes the ideal career now may not be the ideal career in the next 10 years. So they do change. But what does your ideal career look like in 3 to 5 years? I want you to write that down. And I want us to look at this framework. It's called 5W2H framework. So this is a problem solving model framework. I use this, we use this in business analysis to solve problems, to solve complex problems, or to understand why we are doing things. So 5W2H stands for what, why, when, where, who, how, and how soon. So the 5 W's are what, why, when, where, who, how soon. So if you're trying to make a decision that is tough to make, it's always good to write it down. What, why, where, who, how soon. So I've also adopted this tool in planning career journey. So what do you want to do? What do I want to do? And sometimes when people say I want a career change, I say, what do you want to do? They say, I don't know. I don't even know. So if you're saying I don't know, you're not alone. So what do you want to do? Ask yourself, why is it important to you? Why that thing that you want to do, this career that you want to change into, why is it important to you? Is it because of boredom? I'm just bored. Is it because you're burnt out? Is it because you just want some quick fixes? You need money? Is it because of stability? Is it because your values have changed? Is it because there's just discomfort that you feel? There's this feeling of you're not doing well, or this feeling of dissatisfaction that comes. So why is it important to you? You need to write them down. And then when will you start? When this thing that you want to do, when will you start? Then where do you want to work? Which industry, which location, which environment? It's good to write these things down. What do you need in your corner? What do you need in your corner? Like, do you need mentors? Do you need network? And then how will you get there? So how will you get there? Talks about the skills, the steps. We'll go into more details later. And the last part says, how soon can you start? So these are the questions that you can write them down and try to put some answers to it. The ones that you can't answer, you can just leave it blank. Okay. So when we talk about where, I've intentionally pulled this out. Where you're talking about, where can I start? Because a lot of people ask these questions. I don't even know where to start from. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to even begin from. So where, and I put a new and here. So when we talk about career change, it does not always mean that you have to completely deviate. You have to completely leave what you're doing. Some people that's possible for them, but in some circumstances, in most circumstances, I tell people that the best approach is to start from where you are. Start from here, start from where you are. What are the things that you're doing now? How can you transform those things? How can you start from where you are? For example, because I've had this conversation with someone, I don't know if she's online, if she's joined us now, that, she's a nurse. She's not thinking of, okay, I don't want to be a nurse again. And I want to do something completely new. And I told her, no, start from where you are. You don't need to stop being a nurse. But what can you do? How can you use your skills? How can your skills become transferable into that new thing that you want to do? So we talked about project management. Okay. If you want to go into project management, which area in nursing will allow you to do that? So start from where you are is the best approach. But for some people, the best approach may also be for them to completely deviate from what you're doing. But the most important thing is that there are transferable skills that you can bring into your new career. And the who also is very important. Who is very important. Who do you know? The network, the people. We'll talk about that um, as we go on. So this 5W2H approach, we can use it to bring clarity, to bring courage, to bring consistency to what we are doing, or to changing career. And this IOA model, this is something that I've come up with as, I've been speaking to people year in, year out. And sometimes what I've been telling them is centered around this 3-letter acronym. I'll just be using for how to bring it to life and I just say, okay, IOA, let's say IOA model. So this is my model. If you Google it, you won't see it on Google, okay? But it's very soon to be on Google. So by God's grace. So the IOA model. So when I used to work in the bank, in fact, that was my first job. And people would come in and there's always shock on their face that, what are you doing here? How did you get here? And I hear stories upon stories. People say, oh, I used to work in G2B. I used to work in Access Bank in Nigeria, in Africa, here and there. And, when I came, nobody told me I could do this. So different stories. People say, oh, I've been in professional job before I came to this country. But when I came, I was just told you can't do it. And some will say, I've tried to do this. I've applied for jobs and, I was not making headway. So I was tired and I left it. So the high aim model, it's about you can, how you can, how you can navigate the career path that you want. For example, if you want to go into IT, maybe you're currently doing care and you want to go into IT. Inward means that you look inward. This is about self-discovery. What do I have? What do I have? What skills do I have? Okay. So you look inward. What skills? We'll come to skills later. But what skills do I have? What can I do? Look inward in terms of what are your capabilities? What are my competences? For example, I tell people that there are certain skills that if you don't have them, you will struggle at some jobs. For example, you don't like talking for long and you got a job in a call center. You're going to be frustrated because you don't like talking. Call center, they take calls 24/7. They're talking, they're engaging, they're negotiating and all that. So you don't have a communication skill and that's your job. It's obvious that you're not going to display excellence. You're not going to be 100% excellent at what you're doing. And at the same time, you'll be frustrated. So look inward. What are my skills? Do I have analytic skills? Yeah, we'll come to the skills later. And then outward, look outward. Look outward means that look around you. Look the country that you are. I don't want to assume that everybody here is from. I know some people may be joining from Ireland or in UK. I don't want to assume that there's no people from Nigeria. So look around you. What are the prevailing jobs in this country, in the country that you are? Okay. What are the jobs that are trendy? What are the jobs that people get easily? Look at look at your environment, your local council. What are those jobs that is common that people are doing? So look at and then look around. Look around means that sometimes we have close friends and relatives that we don't even know what they're doing. So look around means that look at people around you, even people within your community, your friends. Ask them, what do you do? Can I get a 15 minutes of your time? I would like to know what you do. So ask them questions, relevant questions. So tell me about yourself. What do you do? What are the things you like about these jobs? What are the things you don't like about this job? What are the frustrations? Ask relevant questions. What skills do you need to do this job? Okay. So look around, inward, outward, around. If you're looking for a career change, especially if you don't even know what you want to do. Because to be honest, people say, oh, I don't even know what to do. So IOA model talks about looking inward, outward, around. I'm still trying to give this some shape and develop it further. So let's talk about skills reflection. I'm still checking the chat. I think that's fine. I think some people already sent in their questions, so we'll take this later. But if you have questions, please put in the chat. So you see, how important is my skill? That's a very good question. How important is my skill? Your skill is very important. If you look at the picture on the screen, you see that skills are central to almost everything. Central to learning, experience, your ability, your growth, training, competence, knowledge. Skills, very important. When you're talking about what you want to learn, skills are very important. When you talk about experience, skill is very important. There was a place I worked that one of my tasks was to build a skill matrix. So we want to know in this company, what skills do people have? So skill matrix is like in form of a chart that it gives you a list of all the skills that's against the names of people, and you ask them questions to determine what skills and abilities they have. So as a company, we want to know what skills people have so that when we want to do A, we know who to go to. When we want to do B, we know who is the best person to go to. So skill is very important, essential to everything that we do. So it's good to ask yourself, what skills do I have? So some of the common skills I have here says there are soft skills, there are functional skills, and we'll talk about transferable skills. So soft skills, communication, listening, teamwork, leadership, time management, creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, and the rest. Research facilitation, paying attention to details, planning and monitoring, analytics, relationship building, and so many more. These are soft skills, are skills that people have. And these skills can be natural to some people, and it can also be it can be acquired. You can learn them. For example, communication, you can learn if you don't like to communicate, you can learn. It may not be natural to you, but you can acquire it. So there's a book that on communication. I can't remember, but I'll try and put it on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, please do. So if you want to know how to speak eloquently, and for long, because some people just love to make short conversations and that's it. But there's no industry that you want to work in that communication skill is not important. So there's a need for us to develop that aspect. So in terms of functional skills, we'll talk about communication, numeracy skills, and technology skills. So functional skills, uh, things that people, if, for example, if you don't have a is it, sorry, I can't pronounce that, GSSC, if you don't have that, you can, you can have functional skills. So employers do take functional skills. I think they call it level 2 functional skills in the UK. And most colleges, you can get functional skills from most colleges. They call it functional skills level 2, something like that. And then transferable skills are skills that you have in your current job that you can bring to your new career. So those are transferable skills. You must be able to identify those transferable skills so that when you go for interview and they're asking you questions like, why do you want to transition? Why did you change? Why do you want to change your career? Maybe what's on your CV is care and now you're going to IT. So they're asking you, so why from care to IT? You must be able to tell them that you have this skill, you have that skill, and that's why you're changing. Okay. So you must be able to show and tell them the transferable skills that you've acquired or that you have. Okay. So in terms of matching your skills to your role, so for example, if you're very good at communication, writing, storytelling, or persuasion, so these type of skills are good for people that want to go into marketing, content creation, public relations, teaching, copywriting, communications, and all that. So these are the roles that fit into this type of skills. If you're a very analytical person, you have analytical skills plus all other skills. I've just picked out the key skills. It doesn't mean that you only have to have analytical skills to become this. No, I'm just talking about the key skills that is relevant. So business analysis, data analytics, IT support, coding, UX, UI, cybersecurity. If you're strong in organization planning or multitasking, you want to look at project management, and project management also covers business analysis, data analytics, and all that. You want to look at operations, you want to look at admin roles. If you're a people person, you show empathy a lot, listening, problem solving, HR, counseling, coaching, social work, customer service, healthcare industry. So what are the common roles in the UK? So the common roles not in any order of importance. So don't think IT is the most important now or is the most common now. So IT and there are IT support roles. I'm going to call IT coding, cybersecurity, business analysis. There's IT business analysis as well. Project management. So you can go into program or project management, business analysis, you can be a project coordinator, could do data analytics, UX and UI designer, operations. You can go into retail management, event coordination. You can do admin roles, content creating. You can do HR, counseling, coaching, social work, customer service, art care, engineering, construction, and many more. If you want to go into the medical field, there is nursing and other medical support roles. So these are the common roles that we see in the UK. It may be different for other countries, but a lot of people do get jobs in these areas. Okay. So what are the important things for us to know for a professional career? But before I go into the next slide, I want to stay on this slide for a bit. So we've talked about changing career. Let's take at the time. We talk about changing career. For example, you I'll use the same example of nursing. You're a nurse and you want to change your career. If you look at what we have under project management, you've talked about program and project management. How can I how can I bring my transferable skills into project management? So now you're learning about project management. The type of jobs you should be looking for are the type of jobs that are related to hospitals, pharmacies, the medical field, because you can actually become a project manager in medical fields and all that. And you will become more successful as someone that does not have that nursing background. Okay. If you're a business analyst, you become more successful because we talk about what's it called? There's something to call is it commercial awareness? Not even commercial awareness, but there's a name for it. That's that background information, that background knowledge will make you to be successful. That's what we're talking when we talk about transferable skills. That even though maybe you don't like what you're doing now, but the next thing that you want to do should not be something completely new, or may not be something completely new. It could be something that would enable you to use all the experiences you gained in this new career. So I have someone that is a nurse and she was tired of being a nurse and she was talking about, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? And then she did a training and then she only looked for a job that related to hospitals. And now she's like senior data coordinator or something for NHS. So that's what we're talking about. Career change. That a change can be deviation, it can be modification, it can be variation. So you need to determine which one is it that you are about. So going to the next slide that talks about the important things to know for a professional career. A lot of people say, I want to go into professional career and there's some things that they don't know. So these are some of the things that you need to know. You'd be surprised that the first one is how to turn on and off a computer. You'd be surprised that there are people who don't know how to turn on and off a computer. So these are the things that you need to let people show you. How do I turn on and off this computer? We need to learn basic Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. You'd be surprised that, the people that have never even heard of Excel before, Word and PowerPoint. So if you want to learn about basic Excel, you can start from YouTube. You can go on Udemy, Udemy. You can go on Coursera. You can buy those courses and start to learn, basic Excel, Word, how to type in Word, PowerPoint, how to use PowerPoint. Because when you get into professional field, these are the things that they expect you to know. In fact, there was an interview I went for that all they did at first was to give me a paper, and on that paper they wrote the login for the computer and password and all that, and then they left me in that room and they were watching from somewhere. So they want to see if you can operate a computer, if you can type in username, if you can type in your password without any help, without doing like this. Okay. So these are the things that we need to master. Typewriting. Some of us, if you're typing, we are doing like this. Yeah, I know. For starters, yes. But there are softwares that we can use that will help us to know how to type. It may not be as proficient or as efficient as, you know, people that have been doing it for years, but there are typewriting softwares that instead of Netflix and YouTube, Nollywood, and all that, we can start to do this on our spare time. So you can look at Ratatype, typing.com. These are free softwares. There are paid ones as well, but I think this one should be okay. And there are other free ones that you can research how to write professional emails. Thank God for ChatGPT, right? But people are now conscious and aware of ChatGPT even at work. There's some emails, once you see them, you just know it's ChatGPT. So we must be able to put effort. Don't let ChatGPT do everything for you. You must be able to proofread and correct, and even to be able to tell what you want ChatGPT to write. I think is master. So tell ChatGPT what you want. Write your own email, and then tell ChatGPT to proofread or something or to correct for you. So how to write professional emails, how to not no. Some people would say like you're writing to your friend. No, professional emails are different. Okay, maybe you start with I, hello. You know, in UK they don't really just sound math. So how to write professional emails is very important. How to send and delete emails is very important. When you write that email, so you're calling your colleague, please, how do I send this email? They're concerned that there's something wrong. Have to save a document. Have to save a document in all the different type of formats, PDF and all that. So we must learn all those things. And these are things that we can learn on YouTube, and we can learn and you can buy courses on them. All right. So I have to find opportunities. Some of us will be interested in these. How do we find opportunities? So how do we find opportunities? So I'll say start from somewhere. Start from where you are in your current place of work. You can start from there. So what are the opportunities here? And then you can research companies, sign up to Career Alerts. So research for companies that are of interest to you. For example, if you want to go into IT profession, right? Want to go into IT profession, research companies, research where can I work, where can I start from. There are some IT courses that you probably need to take. So where can I take those courses? Okay. Then network starts from asking people around you, or do you know anybody that is in IT? Are you in IT? How did you get into IT? Network with people. We can also connect with people on LinkedIn. Be intentional about connecting with people of like minds on LinkedIn, who are in the field that we desire. And also we can ask professionals questions in the field that we want to go into, ask some questions, relevant questions. So these are how to find opportunities. But there was someone that sent something to me last week. They were looking for, I think, about 5 or 15 people in his place of work that have specific skills. And the person was like, do you know anybody that have the skills? So these are how you can network with people. And all I just need to do is, okay, who is fit? Who can do this? Who can do that? Who has this, what they're looking for? Just have to network with people, that in certain fields or in the field that you desire. So prepare for the opportunities also. You need to prepare for the opportunities. Online training is very important. There are so many online training providers today. Coursera, Udemy, Learning People, so many of them that we can start to learn within our own time, free time. Certification. Do we need to find out if this career I need to get certified? Because certification would get you into the interview room actually. When they say that you're certified, it shows that you've learned, you've mastered the skill around this career. So do you need to gain practical experience? There's some companies that offer internship. So while you're doing your current job, you can be doing internship, training an internship in another company. And by the time you're done, you'll be ready to get a new job. So do you need to upskill? There are free or low cost courses that you can upskill you. EDX is a very good place to look at. They offer free courses. And I think it's a university in America, global, that offers free education. So you can look at courses there. Many colleges also offer free professional exams and apprenticeship. There's a very good one that I've used before, the Knot not Warwickshire and South Leicestershire. I know many colleges do that. So this particular one, they offer professional exams, apprenticeship. They will train you. You will do the exams for free, and there are companies that are connected to them. So there was a particular when I did mine. There was a particular company that was calling me. They wanted me to work with them, but I already got a job. So many colleges have affiliation with these companies, and they recruit from there. So you want to check that out. And but you need to be mindful that once you sign up for colleges, you must complete them because there's a no complete fee of £100. They may have increased it now. I'm talking about probably 7 or 8 years ago. So they may have increased it, but you must complete. Otherwise, you'll be charged for it. And some of them also require you to have a certain visa. So you also check the visa requirements. So also look for opportunity where you're working. So network with people where you're working, go to the department that you want to work. Maybe in your current company, they have an IT company, go there, make friends there, ask them questions, so that when you finally learn and gain practical experience, that's the first place to look at. Once you've made friends, you can then begin to tell them, oh, I can do this, I can do that. And they say, oh, really? What do you have? Oh, I have this. And maybe you can get a job there. So, what are the sites to secure remote jobs from? There's remotely. There's so many of them. Some of us we want remote jobs, right? So, remotely at Sourcely, remotely working nomads, Wiser, JobScribe, People per Hour, so many. JobServe, Rooming Desk, Atlaya. Atlaya is a very good one if you're looking for AI jobs. So um, I have someone that might be here that is Atlaya experts. So Atlaya AI jobs, you can do that. So what are the job communities that we should be joining if you're looking for a career change? Glassdoor is a very good one. If you join Glassdoor, you can see reviews of companies, what people are saying about the company. You can see their interview questions. You can see their salary reviews. So Glassdoor is a very good place to look at. 10,000 Black Interns is also another place. They committed to ensure that they get up to 10,000 Black people internship. So, excuse me, you want to subscribe to that. Ascendia is also a tech community. They've got paid mentorship, interview preps, and all that. SEO London, yeah, they do CV review, a clinic there, and then I can't see that. Then Knockcree.com, LinkedIn is a very good place. Indeed, got that choice. Upwork, Foundy, Times Jobs, Freshers World, Bright Network, which recruiters. These are places that we can look at or sign up to if you want to get jobs or just prepare ourselves for what is coming. And then some sites to learn. If you want to learn, new things, Udemy, how to how to use Excel, Word, Microsoft Office Suite. Udemy is a very good place. Coursera is a good place. So TechWay Career, I did mention that I'm co-founder of TechWay Career. We provide business analysis training. So the first cohort will be ready, I think will be June, July. So if you're interested in business analysis, that's a good place to look at. LinkedIn Learning. So many people have benefited from learning on LinkedIn, and they have some exams as well that you could do. National Career /gov.uk is also a very good place. They give out free resources, and you can learn a lot out there. So okay. Before we go to questions, there's some questions that I think is already. I'll try and get it from another screen. So you can put your question in the chat. I think you have to put your name or something and email to be able to do that. I will go through some of the questions that we have. Okay, yeah, some questions here already. Sure. So if you have questions, please put in the chat because I don't think you'll be able to unmute yourself. But the first question we have says how do I know if I'm ready to change careers? How do I know if I'm ready to change careers? How do I know? That's a very good question. How do I know if I'm ready to change career? I think that question is important because I feel that you will know when you're ready. Okay, when the feeling of discomfort of doing the same thing over and over outweighs even the fear of the change. When you begin to feel like there's something more that I needed to do. There's something more. This feeling of discomfort when it's greater than the fear of the change itself, then you're ready to change career. When you can no longer concentrate, when you can no longer focus, when you just have that feeling that won't go away. When you're bored, when you feel disconnected or you're drained, you may start, thinking of career change. And we've talked about that career change doesn't mean starting new. Remember, it could be a variation. It could be that you just need to change to get more work to do, more roles or different role, more responsibilities. And it could be a modification. It could be that you just need to learn new technology or something new that will help you to be more proficient at work or efficient at work. Or the other one, which is variation, modification, or deviation. All that it is certain that you need to do something completely new. And even when it is new, remember, there are transferable skills from your current work, from your current career that you can take into your new career. So, okay. The second question says, what if I don't know what career I want yet? What if I don't know what career I want yet? So, you're probably not the only one feeling that way. There's so many people that say, I don't know what to do. I know there's a need for me to change my career, but I just don't know what to do. I don't like what I'm doing now. Okay. And that's okay. So what if I don't know what career I want yet? So start by exploring, what you're doing now, your strengths, your interests, your values. There are tools like I've mentioned skills matrix, plot out, your current skills, plot it out in terms of high, low, medium. What am I really good at? Plot that out. There is also vision board. Vision board. People use vision board, something they stick on the wall that that tells them where they are, where they see themselves, how they see themselves. So that's a very good one to do. Assess yourself and map out your skills. Explore things that we've talked about, the ROA model. Look inward, look outward, look around you. What do people do? And if you're not ready to start now, once you discover that thing that you want to do, all you need to do is start learning, start, training and all that. So the third one says, hmm, do I need to go back to school to change career? Do I need to go back to school to change career? I'll say no, you don't need to go back to school to change careers. In fact, many career transitions do not even require you going to school. All it needs is maybe an internship, training. Of course, there are some that you need to go back to school. Like you want to be a nurse, you want to be a doctor, you want to go into those, those specific careers, you have to go back to school. If you want to transition into tech, into IT, into different other fields, project management, you don't really need to go to school. You just need to, do short certifications, courses, internship, training, and that's what you need. But you need to focus on the specific fields of that target career and see how you can develop that and see what you already have. Okay. So the okay. So how do I overcome the fear of starting over? How do I overcome the fear of starting over? And that's related to the next one that says, okay, so all the question about fear, yeah, okay. So how do I overcome the fear of starting over? What if I fail? Okay, so these are all related to fear. So I would say that there's no need to be afraid when you're changing career because you're not going to probably leave what you're doing now. You're still going to continue what you're doing. So focus on what you're already doing, and then think about your skills, your experiences, your resilience. So career changes is actually not starting from zero, as we said. You don't need to start from zero. Start from where you are. What are the things you can do, from where I am. So you don't need to be afraid. Focus on what you already have and how you can transition that into something meaningful. And another question about fear is about failure. Well, failure is feedback. You don't need to be afraid to fail, you know. But I think what they talk about now is failing forward, right? So we don't need to be afraid to fail. Failure is feedback. It's not final. When you fail, you start over. You start again. So every career move, you know, it's something valuable. Teaches us something valuable. Teaches something valuable. But we must be able to devote time to learning, to devote time to know why we fell in the first place and move from there. Okay. So failure is feedback. I'm gonna group the questions together because of our time. Yeah, I think we've talked about this already. So there's a question about how do I explain my career change to employers? How do I explain my career change to employers? And I think this is very key because okay, people have moved from maybe non-professional jobs to professional jobs. They're thinking when they ask me at interview, why am I transitioning, or how do I explain this complete shift of focus? What do I say? So I think you need to focus on your strength, on your growth, on your adaptability, what you have done from that older career to where you are now. So, for example, you will say that I'm pivoting in your career because I've developed strong leadership, strong analytical skills, and I'm excited to apply this in my new environment. You just need to focus on those transferable skills, as I've said, and you must have identified those skills to be able to leverage on them to say, I've learned this, I've learned that, I've developed this and that, and I'm excited to apply this in a new environment. So that answers that. And then I'll probably take one more. Um, so for other questions, I will maybe put them. You'll get a feedback email, which would contain all the list of sites, training sites, some of the things we've said, so that if you want to explore any of those areas. So some of the other questions will be answered when I return the email. So the one that I would take says, how can I find opportunities if I have no experience in a new field? How can I find opportunities if I have no experience in a new field? It's all about the same thing. Online training. You need to train. You need to get a training that provides internship, training that provides internship. So there are some training providers that they allow you to, they call it work experience. They give you work experience. So you have something they call reference on your, when you get a job, you can get reference from them. So you're training and you're working, they put you in live projects to work on. So those are the type of training providers that you want to be looking for. You don't want to depend on online training alone. You want to know how to do the job. Remember, UK is a country of abroad generally. They value experience over education. That's what I say to people. They value experience over education. You may say, oh, I have this knowledge. They will say, show us how you can do it. Show us how to do it. And as long as you can show them how you can do it, that's all they want. So that's why most interview questions are centered around tell me a time that you have done this. Tell me a time that you have displayed excellence. Tell me a time that you have worked on this. So they want to know what you have done. And that's why training training companies that offer work experience is the best place to go. Another thing you can do is volunteering. I love volunteering. So volunteer in your place of work, volunteer in other places to do some of these things. If you volunteer, that's good. A freelance project I can also volunteer on. Start to think about certification. How can I get certified in that field? And yeah, so other questions, because I'm looking at the time, I don't want us to exceed. So got 4 minutes. Maybe I'll take one more. Okay. This one says, is it too late to change careers if I'm over 40 or over 50? So is it too late to change careers if I'm over 40 or 50? I would say that absolutely not. It is not too late. It is not too. In fact, most people find their paths later in life. Most people discover what they should be doing later in life. That's the way it is. So, and your life experience, your emotional intelligence, your maturity, all the experiences you've acquired in those years of working, they are valuable assets that you can leverage on when you want to transition into a new career. In fact, you can when you're going for an interview, you can leverage on those experiences, to be able to be the best at that interview. So it's not a waste. It does not mean that you cannot change career. If you're over 40, if you're over 50, age can be a strength, experiences, they're huge assets, leverage on them. And so it's not too late to change careers if you're over 40 or 50. You just need to know how to navigate your path. So I think that's what we have. I'll take other questions later. You've done questions. So in terms of conclusion, it's never too late to become who you were meant to be or who you want to be. And I want you to take one action this week if you can. Apply to one job, start one course, connect with one new person on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, you can register, connect with people of like minds. I've had contacts before. One of the banks from Nigeria that they're now in London. One day, I don't know, you know that woman, she's very popular on LinkedIn. She contacted me to say, oh, do I want to work with them? And I said, oh, no, because I already had another job. So these are how people get jobs. People just chat you up to say, oh, do you want this job? Do you want that job? So connect with people of like minds. Okay. And there's paid mentorship. If you want to do paid mentorship, I offer career guidance, CV creation, CV review, LinkedIn review, job search, and we mentor you into work. So if you want to do that, one of our Wayne last week, is that one of my clients just got a procurement manager role. So those are some of our latest wins. If you want to go into paid mentorship, to email me, debbie@denira.gmail.com. And there, see upcoming events. May 24, we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. A lot of people are in workplaces, they're depressed, especially Black people. They're depressed, they don't know what to do, how to do it. So let's talk about imposter syndrome. May 24, register so you can be invited. And then June 28th, you're going to be looking at career change for nursing mothers. So if you have people that are going through maternity or are in maternity, how can they leverage the time that they have to transition into new professional career that is worth it? So that's it all from me. Thank you for joining, everyone. If you're not following us, please follow me on Instagram, laladenira.official, YouTube Laladenira, and also on Facebook, on Twitter, Laladenira. Please do follow us so that we can put our comments, and we will share this video because there's so many people that are registered that are not able to make it there. So we'll share the video to YouTube. You always have the privilege to go back there and watch. So thank you for joining, everyone. I really appreciate. I hope you've learned a thing or two today. Bye, everyone.